Hello girls and boys, welcome back to DSF. My name is Logan and today we are here at the media preview of this all-new Denza D9. So quick backstory for those of you who are not sure what Denza is. This might be the first time a lot of you hear the name Denza, right? And rightly so, because there's thousands upon thousands of Chinese brands that just keep popping up every day just like that. And this is one of the most successful ones because, as we all know, a lot of these names don't really survive after more than a year, right? And that is because Denza is actually a luxury sub-brand of BYD. Yes, you know BYD, you love BYD. BYD is very successful here in Malaysia and globally as well. They've also become the #1 EV maker and exporter in the world, overtaking Tesla like a couple years ago, if I remember correctly. So yes, BYD definitely has the chops to back up everything they do. And Denza is no different. So think Lexus to your Toyota. This Denza, the brand, is the luxury arm to BYD. And the first vehicle they'll be launching here in Malaysia is the D9. This nice big 7-seater EV MPV, as you will, luxury MPV. So I'm pretty sure y'all can tell just by looking at it what the main competition of this car will be. So I'm not going to name names, but I will say you can see right now there's two colorways that they have on display right now. The white over there and this purplish grayish, depending on how the light hits it. So there will be two variants, we know this much. We do not know the price yet. That will be revealed later on during the launch event next week. And there will of course be more colorways as well. But this color, I believe, this purplish gray, I think this will be the hero color. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. But I feel like this is one of the nicer colors. And I also feel that this is the most unique one because most cars, they're either gray or they are purple. This has like a sort of gradient hue to it depending on how the light hits it, so I like that too. And of course, it does have quite a commanding presence on the road. Maybe not as much as the competition because that just looks way more aggressive, right, with a much bigger grille. And being a full EV, you'll notice the grille is completely blocked out. But you do have these slats here. They are plastic, of course, with the big Denza logo right up front and center with the blue symbolizing it's an EV. Nice, sleek, thin headlights. These are very nice looking, by the way. Some slats going down this way with a cut going there for your fog lamps. So it's all very futuristic and very, very sexy design. Under the hood, you'll notice, of course, there's no engine because this is a full electric vehicle, right? So there's two variants that I mentioned. The lower spec will have about 580 kilometers of range and the higher spec will have about 600 kilometers of range. That's the all-wheel drive for 600 kilometers of range and front-wheel drive, which is the lower spec. And both variants come with a 103.36 kilowatt hour capacity battery, which means they charge from 30 to 80% in just half an hour, 30 minutes. Now, the top spec will do 0 to 100 in 6.9 seconds, while the lower spec will do it in 9.5 seconds. And other than that, they are pretty much mostly identical. You will notice there's not really much that's changed. Even the rims on the side, even the back, the lights, everything looks pretty much the same. But you do get everything you want, including ADAS features, creature comforts on the inside, a well-equipped infotainment system, and all of that. We'll show you in a while. But for now, savor the front of this vehicle as we go around to the side. Through the magic of editing, the car has now changed to white. No, I'm kidding. I mentioned there were two cars. There's the white one here, there's the grayish purple over there. We've moved on to the white one to show you the side of the car so that you can really take in all the angles with all the different colors. There will be more colorways to choose from, but that you will find out during the launch. Now, off to the side, the first thing you'll notice is the massive Michelin E-Primacy wheels, right? And you've got this multi-spoke silver and black design here, which is really nice with the Denza logo right in the middle. The thing is, it's not weighted, so it does move with the wheel, so it never stays fully centered like how it would in certain Rolls-Royce models. Off to the side, you'll also notice that there's a Denza badge here on the light. You can come and take a closer look at that. Really zoom in on that, all right? Enjoy that view. You can see there's cameras here on the side, on the wing mirrors to show you that all the ADAS features are fully equipped here. And this is what the door looks like when it's closed. Now, Denza did also mention that this part is made up of 5 separate body panels coming together to enhance structural rigidity and safety. And I close the door, bro. And as you can see, the door is fully automated as well because this is a luxury MPV. You're not going to open and close your own doors. You simply pull the handle, the door opens and closes on its own. So here's the latch. Here's what it looks like. You can take in the full length of this thing. It is very, very long. And just to show you one more time, I'll open the door again. You just have to pop it open slightly and it goes back on its own. There you go. Complete luxury for a much better price than what the rivals are offering, obviously, which is what China is known for. Now, let's take a look at the back. Okay, so here is the rear of the Denza D9, and the first thing I wanted to point out is the tail lights. Yes, they do run the length of the car. That is very, very common these days. What isn't so common is the arrow-inspired design. Yes, Denza did in fact state that this was inspired by an arrow design, and as you can see, you know, the shape does kind of look like an arrow. Kind of looks a little bit like Captain America's shield in the Avengers Endgame to me. I don't know, it just kind of looks like that to me for some reason. But what do you guys think? I think it looks really striking, and this would look so cool at night. Imagine driving behind this car at night with the lights just fully on. This is a vibe all on its own. And of course, you've got the Denza wording here. You've got your trunk release EV to state that it is of course a fully electric vehicle. So of course, it's also automated. Again, it's a luxury MPV, so you're going to have to expect all sorts of luxuries. So you can see the boot clearing, very good. There is a bit of a lip here, you'll notice, right, to put your stuff in. So that might make carrying heavier items a little bit of a problem because you do have this lip to sort of clear as you take your stuff out. But other than that, it's actually fine. It's quite small as far as lips go. You've got underfloor storage right here for your tire repair kit and so on and so forth for those beautiful Michelin tires that we saw earlier. And of course, you can see the rear seats here. They have a tether, so you can hang stuff from that. And these seats, let's see, do they fold down? They do. You just put, oh, doesn't go all the way. And then you, oh, it's okay. So this one is to push the seat forward and back, and this is to pull the seat back into place and release it. So not too sure whether this can even fold down all the way or not, but you do get more hooks over here. And of course, we have our other friends also testing the seats. All right, they've moved. Let's see if we can figure this out now. Seems to also only go just that little bit forward, so I'm not sure. There must be a release somewhere that I'm just unaware of, but you know, you guys can figure it out. Why not? And that sums up the rear and the boot. Okay, so let's start off the interior review with right here, the front. So this isn't exactly where most of the people who buy this car will want to be, right? Most of the time you'd want your chauffeur to be driving you. You want to be in the middle, which we'll take a look at after this. But here is where I feel that this car is actually the nicest, surprisingly, right? Not in terms of creature comforts, but like in terms of design. Because you have this one small little digital driver display right here, but it's not exactly so tiny that it only houses the essential information. It's still got some extra little bits and pieces, including your tire pressure and temperature, which is quite nice to have, honestly. Then you've got this bigger infotainment screen right here in the center, which of course does have its own Wi-Fi, Bluetooth capabilities, controls all the things in the car, you know, the locks, the unlocks, the boot release, so on and so forth. And it's really quite nice to have just one big screen here, but of course, you know me, I would prefer if they added some buttons here just for a few things like climate control, right? Because I don't think it's good to be fidgeting with the screen while you're driving, like you're going to be driving like this. That could cause an accident, you know, if you're not too careful, because you need to really be paying attention on the road at all times. But other than that, let's start up here. You'll notice a small little panoramic sunroof up here for the driver and the passenger with a bigger one back there. You have a very thick and big thing here, visor, right? And you do get a light with a vanity mirror as well for your driver's side, and for your passenger side it's exactly the same. Yep. So slide this, light turns on. One more thing for your battery to drain. Now in the front you'll notice there is a flat bottom steering wheel, but it's two spoke, so this part here completely empty. That's quite nice with all your buttons here and some rotary dials and knobs and the Denza symbol. So you've got all your controls right here. You don't need to fidget on the screen for most things. You've got your signal indicators, so on and so forth, your wiper controls, a borderless rear view mirror right here with, yeah, no, it doesn't go digital. It doesn't go digital. And then your aircon vents down here, which is a nice position to have them in. But you know, if you like to drive very relaxed, like you're on the highway and it's super jam, and you like to just keep your hand here, like some, you know, I notice a lot of people like to do this on long drives for the holidays. They'll just keep one hand here to adjust the wheel. This could be a detriment. It could freeze your hand over. So, you know, 10 and 2 or 9 and 3. And then of course you've got a nice wireless charger right here, which similar to the back seats, it's 50 watts, but I don't know what phone supports 50-watt wireless charging though. So that's going to be a bit interesting to deal with. There is only one, of course, so only one person can charge at a time. Then you have your buttons here for things like your auto hold, your parking sensor, your boot release, so on and so forth. and your driving modes, and a little rotary knob for volume. So you can see here, right, media, it's being adjusted with this little dial right here. Then of course you press this in and you've got two more cup holders right here, so you can also have drinks for yourself and your passengers at the back without disturbing anybody. And of course, nice big central cubby. It's not the deepest, it's actually quite shallow as far as these go, but hey, it is a EV, right? So that's going to be normal. Your start stop switch is also right here. It's not somewhere on the dash like most places, like in most other cars. You got another aircon vent here, and the parking brake is right here. But one thing I wanted to point out, this is a very nice crystal gear knob, by the way. It's not fully crystal like certain cars like Volvo, right? This is like plasticky stuff, there's metal bits, and then there's the crystal right in the center. But this is one thing that I find a bit strange about new cars. So you press this here, this button at the side, right? You press it with your thumb and then you shift gears. And I don't really like what they're doing with all these new shifters, because personally I just prefer an old classic traditional shifter. But you know, I get that this is an evolution, but I feel like it's strange that the cars themselves are getting bigger, yet the shifters just seem to get smaller and smaller. And at least this isn't so bad, you know, like there's certain cars there's just a little switch that you pull like that, which is terrible. Other cars, they use a rotary knob. It's, I don't know, man, I don't know how to feel about this. What do you guys think though? So I'm done complaining about that. Let's redirect your attention up here again to the light switches. You know, you tap them to turn on and off, sorry, and a sunglasses holder as well. So yeah, fully equipped. That's why I feel, oh yes, also ambient lighting, I forgot to mention, it's very dim. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but at night that'll be super cool. So yeah, the real wood veneer is right here as well. This nice soft touch on the dashboard, your ADAS features and everything, which is why, again, I feel like this is actually the nicest place in the car to be in. It's design-wise, it is the nicest place in the car, even nicer than the middle row seats, which is obviously the highlight of a car like this. Oh yeah, your glove box is also dampened. Now, let's take a look at the back seats. As you can see, I'm seated very, very comfortably here in the second row. Now, I did mention that this is a 7-seater, and you can have it as a 7-seater, but this is the 6-seater configuration for the Denza D9. And you can see that when you opt for this one, you get two captain's chairs with some really, really cool highlights. First of all, you have this grab handle right out here, very sturdy and very helpful to get in, because it does have quite a rise up here, right? So if you're a little bit vertically challenged, then you know this car would be quite difficult to get into without the grab handles, but luckily they give you that. You've also got a nice little panoramic sunroof right up here. You can take a look at that in a while. You've also got a really nice color. In the front, there's wood veneers. We'll show you that later. But these seats in like the tan brownish color, they're quite nice. They're quite all right. You've got your charger here. You've got a charger you can charge your mobile devices with over here. And then you've also got seat controls in the inside of the seat here to move your seat forward and backwards. You've also, of course, got the controls right here on the other side. So you can see that there is a little console here, 5.5-inch console that helps you control things such as your aircon, your seating position, so on and so forth. Now, do note that this cannot actually be removed like some other luxury MPVs. So this is just stuck here. It's permanently there. So you have to take note of that. This could be somewhat of a safety risk. Other than that, you've got a very small airplane style holder here to keep, I don't know, important documents or whatnot. And then another highlight would be this. You press that button, you pull this table out, boom, you have a nice little table here. They also recessed this spot a little bit so you can keep your mobile phone here and a drink here in case you just want to do some work while on the go. Or you can even have a meal right here. And this, I feel, is really good. Remember the wood veneer I mentioned up front? There's more of it right here. And this is real wood veneer, by the way. They did not cheap out on anything in this car. So from the wood veneer, we'll look here and you see there's cup holders for the front passenger, or you can use these for yourselves as well. And then you'll notice this little screen here. No, it's not actually for climate control. It's actually to control this thing right here. You see this little eject button. When I press it, ta-da, there is a literal mini fridge right here. So you can keep your whatever you want to keep, you know, juice boxes, coffee. If you have kids, your juice boxes. If you want to keep coffee for yourself and you want it to stay cold for your business meetings, you can do that. You can even, I reckon you can even fit like small cans in here. So maybe you can't fit a bottle of champagne, but hey, you buy a Rolls Royce for that. You don't buy a Denza. This is perfect enough as it is. So you can see that the rear seats are extremely, extremely comfortable. And of course, because there's a little space right in the middle here, I can also very easily move into the back. Okay, so back here you'll notice now that the middle row seats are pushed all the way forward, I have more than enough space back here to really stretch out. But if this seat is pushed a bit further back, right, like you don't have to push it all the way back, maybe like just enough for the guy in front of you to be comfortable, you can still have quite some decent space. It'll be about this much knee room left, and you've got more wood veneer right here, even more real wood veneer. And I've also realized that there's some aircon vents right here at the top. And of course the sunroof, which is a two-piece, it also extends all the way to the back. Here you've also got your own grab handles to hold on to so that you still feel safe. There is ambient lighting going on at the corners. I'm not sure if you can see that, it's a little bit dim. But I finally figured out how to push the seat forward, and that is through this tab here. Remember earlier at the booth I was struggling? So just pull this and boom, it goes down all the way. So it doesn't go down all the way when you pull from the tether at the rear, but it does go down all the way when you pull from the tether in the front of the seat, and then you're just gonna have to remove the headrest and it'll fit perfectly flush and go back down. See, have you noticed? This is where it stops when you pull from the rear tether from the booth. So you will have to pull the tether in the booth, then that tether in the front. It's a two-step process, or you can just pull the tether in the front, it'll fall forward, but do remember to remove the headrest, otherwise it won't sit completely flush. Other than that, that's about it. And now that the sunroof is open, you guys can enjoy this nice view as well. So at night, this is going to be a really, really comfortable and nice place to be in. So there you have it, the Denza D9. Once again, we don't know the official price. That'll be revealed to us next week when the car is officially released. Today is just a preview. So that should sum up the Denza D9. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed.